Hello and welcome, dear students. So in this lecture, I'll be talking you through or taking you through how to migrate the ASP.NET Core 3 project that was written about 5 years back and that's still in GitHub to ASP.NET, which is the current version till today. And so let's switch over to GitHub and let me bring the source code. So this was your starting point. So I will tell you step by step and how to easily migrate this project ASP.NET ASP.NET Core 30 MongoDB by clicking on the code and copying the HTTPS copy URL to clipboard, and then so I have created a dedicated folder on my Udemy instructor MongoDB course source code ASP.NET Core 3.0, and there I will click on open in terminal and I will give it a command git clone. So cloning into this. Alright, so let's see how it looks like. You probably are all familiar with this. Now let me open the CRUD sample, which is the solution, and it holds two projects. So as soon I cloned it and opened it with my Visual Studio 2022, it says the project is targeting a version of .NET which is not installed. That's pretty true. I don't want to install it, so I'll not click on install. This solution contains packages with vulnerabilities. Alright, so I will just close by clicking the cross icons, and then I will just confirm this is Net Core App 3.0. This is the solution app and this is the data access project. This is the solution project and data access project. Okay, so data access project is .NET Standard 2.1 and it includes package MongoDB.driver, and it has got just one package, and the CRUD sample holds more packages. Alright, so the key to changing it all, migrating it all into ASP.NET 8 is to just change the target framework and all of these packages that has got that needs to be updated. So first of all, we'll change the target framework. Alright, so target framework has become very simple. There's no core app, something like that. It is just Net 8.0, as simple as that. So Net 8.0. So that is ASP.NET 8 framework. That's it. And all I need to do is to change a few of the other packages. So the best way to do it is right click and manage NuGet packages. Manage NuGet packages. I will open and I will see that the installed packages are these and they need to be upgraded. So this is the old version, this is the updated version. Okay, so one by one I will upgrade all of these versions. Microsoft.ASP.NET.MVC. Okay, so uninstall package source mapping is off. So the easiest way to do is just click on this arrow and click on I accept, and it comes up with some errors. Now don't be worried about this error code NU1605. This is a package downgrade issue in .NET. There are several ways to resolve it. Now it indicates that there are conflicting versions of package in our project. In this case, the package Microsoft.ASP.NET.WebPages is being referenced with two different versions. So, and the steps to resolve is manually either update the package reference from here. So it has been written that a conflicting version is this Microsoft.ASP.NET.MVC 5.3 and Microsoft.ASP.NET.WebPages 3.3.0. So what we can do is we'll have to restore this version was rolled back. So because this was dependent upon this NuGet packages. First, we'll actually upgrade these two first. Okay, so just go for upgrade, click on accept. Okay, now 0. This time there is no error. Okay, now this also I will upgrade. Again I will accept. So 0 errors. Alright. Now is the time to upgrade this one. This time I'll click on accept. And this has quickly done. It has installed. So now these installed packages should be reflected in the project file. That is this one, this one, this one. So now you have got upgraded Microsoft.ASP.NET.MVC version 5.3 and ASP.NET.Razor 3.3.0 and Microsoft.ASP.NET.WebPages 3.3.0. So everything is hunky-dory, fine. Now all I have to change is the change of the connection string. Now for this to be successfully migrated, there are before that happens, there are 34 errors. So what I found is that these this data access project, which earlier only had this MongoDB.driver version, an older version, this also needs, apart from upgrading this MongoDB.driver version, it needs some additional NuGet packages which are already in the other project, CRUD sample project. So I will do that now. So what I will do is I will go for manage NuGet packages again, and installed package is this. Now I can just upgrade this. Let's see. This is successfully upgraded, installed 3.0.0. Now one of the 34 errors says warning as error detected, package downgrade MongoDB.driver from 3.0.0 to 2.9.1. Okay, so what this means that the other project, the CRUD sample project, has got the driver version. This is the driver version as 2.9.1. So I'll have to change the version that I have included, which is a higher version, to this version 2.9.1, just to be compatible with the other project. Okay, so 2.9.1. Save it, and then let us try to build it. No, and this time also that error is gone, that 34 errors are there. So all I need to do is to copy these other package references which are not there. If you keep it on a this part on a different tab group, new vertical document group, like side by side, to be able to see both side by side. So this just includes MongoDB.driver, but I need to include all of these other packages, which is what I found to be the case. So I will just include them, copied from the other project to this project. Okay, save it, and another reference that is needed will be the Microsoft.extension.options. Now I will close that. I've copied that extension options, so I will just put it at the end over here. Save it and then rerun the application. I will just close this window, close this window, close this as well, and then IIS Express clicked. So this time after building, no error came, but it will still fail unless I change the connection string, which I have changed in the other lecture. I have shown you from the Atlas Cloud. I have made the MongoDB database, customer database. So I'll have to change my connection string. Without doing that, it will fail again. So let me show you how it fails with what error. Okay, so we have got this an unhandled exception occurred while processing the request. a timeout occurred after 30,000 milliseconds, 30 seconds, selecting a server using component server side. So this no connection could be made because the target machine actively refused it. We expected it, isn't it? Because I haven't changed the connection string to reflect that I need to change it to point to my database, MongoDB database with its connection on the Atlas, MongoDB Atlas. And at the moment, the connection string is so opening the app settings.development.json. This is and like MongoDB localhost 27017, which is the local. It is if it is running in local host or locally if it is installed. So MongoDB or Mongo shell, which is not the case. In my case, I have not installed it on this machine that I am demonstrating this video from, recording this video from. So all I have to do is to change the connection string to the connection string that we got in the earlier lecture, which is this again. I have opened it and click on connect. If we click on connect and click on drivers, I see this connection string. Okay, so if I close this is the full code sample. I don't need to use the full code sample. I just need to see the connection string. My connection string is here. Okay, so I need to copy this and see. Remember, it also says that ensure any option parameters are URL encoded. So this has to be if my password uses special characters like @ or percentage. It uses @. So I have to escape. I have to use URL encoded. Okay, so my complete connection string, new connection string is, I will just write in front of you. This is, so I have copied it from the MongoDB server and changed the optional characters, which was @ in my password for my database. So this is actually URL encoded @ as %40%. Now the application will be ready. Just one small niggle. My old code was showing the database as customer database, which needs to be changed to customer. My new database on this MongoDB Atlas cluster is now customer database. So I will make this change. So if you haven't seen my earlier lecture, which I have created on how I could create the MongoDB database on MongoDB Atlas cluster with all the steps, please see that. And there I have created a customer database. So now as it is, if I click on this IIS Express button, and it will run the program, no problem. But if you have heard about it, this program and startup class in ASP.NET 8 will be just one single program file, and startup is merged into the program file. And for best practice sake, I will get rid of the startup class and change the program file or program.cs class, program class, to have the minimal API. I will tell you in a minute what I mean. So I will actually delete the startup file. Okay. And in the program.cs file, which I will open, I will completely change this program class with the code that I have on my clipboard. So I will just highlight, select all, and I will paste the code that I have with my changed program file name, keeping in with the best practice with the program being just unified, program file being program and startup file being unified together. So this is actually using most of these libraries, but some of these libraries are not being used. You can see here, and if I click on build, I will just explain what I did here. Just build, clean, let us clean it once, it doesn't harm, build the solution. So build 2 succeeded. So there's no problem in the building. Now I'll get rid of all of these unused references, libraries, and even this one. So now I have removed all unused usings. Alright. And then again I will build Ctrl+Shift+B and then I will explain. So now the build succeeded, it's ready to run. So here we have got this var builder equals assigned web application dot create builder args. So this line sets up the application using the web application dot create builder. The builder object is responsible for configuring the app's services and middleware. And then the next line is accessing the configuration settings. So this line allows to configure settings typically from appsettings.json. Okay, here it is appsettings.development.json, and such as MongoDB connection strings. Okay, this enables you to read application settings such as MongoDB connection strings. And then the next line is service registrations. So this line registers MVC service required to handle requests to controller and views. And the next line configures the settings, which is a custom configuration class, to fetch MongoDB connection string and database name. MongoDB connection string and database name from the configuration, which is likely stored in appsettings.json under the, here in this case, appsettings.development.json under the MongoDB section. So it is here, right, this part. And the next part is iCustomer context and customer context. It adds the MongoDB context, customer context, and its interface to the service container using transient lifetime. This means that a new instance of the context is created for each request. And similarly for iCustomer repository and customer repository, the repository interface and its implementation are added, enabling CRUD operations for customer in MongoDB. And then this line registers the service. This line registers the service required for handling both controllers and views, enabling the MVC architecture in the application. And then var app builder.build. Once all the services are registered, the builder.build creates the actual application app that will handle the requests. And configuring the next part is configuring the HTTP request pipeline. So in these blocks in development, the developer exception page shows detailed error messages. In production or non-development, the exception handler middleware redirects error to home error page, /home, /error page. Non-development, this is production or staging, this thing. And then this is routing middleware. So app.use static files, app.use routing. So static files are being served like CSS, JS images from www.root folder, and use routing enables routing for the app, okay, allowing incoming requests to be matched to the controllers and actions. And this is the authorization middleware. It adds authorization checks to the app, ensuring protected routes require authentications. And finally, this part, app.mapControllerRoute, defines the default route pattern for controllers in the app. If no specific controller or action is provided in the URL, it defaults to the home controller and index action. Finally, this runs the app and starts listening for incoming HTTP requests. So in summary, this program class, defines the entry point for the ASP.NET Core application and setting up services like MongoDB context and repositories, configuring the HTTP request pipeline, and starting the web server. It provides the foundation for handling requests, performing MongoDB CRUD operations, and returning results via controllers and views. So if I now run this icon, IIS Express, it comes up with this Robert Vadra. Okay, so this is the only record that I have entered on the interface, if you recall, which is here again, which is here, name, age and salary, now which is matching. All right, so that's it. Now I can update this record. I can get rid of Robert Hill or something like that, save. Okay, and then I can create a new customer, ID2, name Jon Snow, age whatever 61, and salary say whatever 9,000, and create. So that should also be there on the cluster if you look into the interface. So where it is, so now I can see that after refreshing in the customers collection within the customer database, I've got these two records, which is what I have shown, and it tallies perfectly with our application that is rendering these two. So our CRUD application is completely working fine with the updated MongoDB application into ASP.NET 8 and connecting correctly from the MongoDB database from Atlas. Thank you very much.